Hey guys, welcome back to Node.js tutorials. In this tutorial we'll be covering advanced schemas. So far we've got a very simple schema here, which is we've got a schema containing key and a value. Key is basically our field name and the value is the type. It's very simple, very straightforward. You cannot get this wrong, right? Now, but the real world isn't this simple. You've got complex objects like arrays and things and fields that can have numbers and like binary data and that kind of stuff. And this is just not enough for that kind of work, right? Because, well, you can argue that yes, I can store numbers in my string, I can pass binary into ASCII and then do stuff and put it in the string, and but that's still not the best way to store data. Also, string offers no validation for numbers, so if you wanted to store a number and if you chose string type, and then if accidentally your program tried to store a character, then Mongoose wouldn't tell you off. It wouldn't just let you go, because it would be like, yeah, whatever, you told me that it should be a string character, A is a string, I'm fine. And then your application will have issues afterwards, and then you would have lots of people scratching their heads trying to figure out what's gone wrong, right? But you can avoid all of that by giving them proper types. The types are listed in the Mongoose schema types. I'm not going to bore you with that detail, and I'm not going to say, look, I can memorize all these types, and I'm not going to try and act like that, because whenever I'm stuck, I just look up the documentation. But you just need the right place. So I'd probably bookmark this if I were you. You've got string, number, date, buffer, boolean, mixed, object ID, and array. Yeah, string is a string, number is a number, date is just date, normal date, buffer is binary, so it contains binary data, boolean, true or false, mixed is mixed objects, no specific type, object ID is object ID, so like the ID field that we have, the underscore ID field, which is referenced here, the underscore ID field. That's by default of type object ID, so it gets created every time. And then you've got the array, so array is this normal array, right? And if you just look at this very neat example here, you can just see that you've got name, string, buffer, boolean. You can assign types like this, and you can optionally assign types like this. So you can say type, default value. You can provide a default value that you want to assign to that field. So in this case, in our case, it will look like this: type string, default, vanilla. So if the user doesn't provide a valid value, then the default will always be vanilla. That obviously. Then you've got a number, so we don't have numbers here, but you can have numbers. Some ID, object ID, you can have your own object ID field aside from the underscore ID field, so it's totally up to you what you want. You've got the array, which is a normal array, and then you can define arrays of things. So this array can be anything, so it can be number, string, whatever, but then you can also specify arrays of specific types. You can see this is going to be an array of strings, this is going to be an array of numbers, this is going to be an array of dates. Yeah, and then you can also have nested objects. Now, nested objects are very powerful. I would suggest that if you were to write a complex object, then I would try and avoid nested objects. But it's one of the more powerful things that Mongoose can do, which is provide nested objects, which a normal SQL database can't. Now, in the past, I've had issues with nested objects, which I still have to verify if it's still true with the newer versions of Mongoose, so I won't mention anything here about it, because I don't know what I'm saying, and I'll have to probably check. But if you have stuff that you want to store within stuff, then use nested objects with stuff. No, that can be anything. So in this case, you can have something like other choices, which is an array of choices, which is an array of strings. Oops, wrong one. And then you have reasons, and which is also an array of string. Now this is a very poor thing. If I were you, I would not do this. I would just do like this. Now I'll explain in a minute why this is why I've done it this way. Now what we're saying is other choices. It has an object called choices, which is an array of objects, each containing a key value choice and value of string, which is the type. Same thing here, reason and the string, and then you can have multiple of these inside one of these. Inside one of these. Right. Probably not the best idea. But this is just for testing and demo purposes. Going back to as we were, one of the other powerful things that you can do in Mongoose is to use indexes. Indices. Are they indices or indexes? I don't care. Whatever. Is you can use indexes, and you can specify index so to make your search faster in Mongoose. Ideally, when you say I wanna find all the choices by name this person, Mongoose, if that field is not indexed, will go through every single entry and will try and find it and try and match it. But if you mark that field as an index, it will create a binary tree map like structure or whatever its own internal algorithm is, and it will create an index. Which will make your search blazingly fast. And trust me when I say this, indexes are very important, and you have to make sure that you pick them wisely. If you were like me a couple of years ago, when I found out about indexes, I was like, I'll index all the fields. Very bad idea, because every time you make a field, every time you call a field index, every time a new object is inserted into the database, it will force Mongoose to go back to update its binary map, which might have a small performance penalty. Maybe not huge, but small penalty. But with each insertion of a new object, that penalty will get bigger and bigger, and then you'll have slow insertions but very fast object extractions, which is pretty cool. But it depends on what kind of thing you do. I would probably only mark key fields as indexes, unless every field is a key field. But I don't see why you would have every field as a key field. But it's up to you. This is not a tutorial on indexes, so just choose whatever you like to do. So that's about it. So that's about indexes. The second thing that you can do in Mongoose is to mark a field as unique. So you can say unique equals true. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you guys how to make a field index. So basically, it's comma index true. Boom. Now ice cream name is an index. So every time I query this database by ice cream name, it will return search results blazingly fast. So that's literally it that you have to do. So, now you can also make a field unique. So you can say unique is true. Right, and what that means is this field, no two entries in this database, in this collection name, choices, can be of same name under ice cream name field. So if you had ice cream name vanilla and then name mountain, and then even if you have a different name called name I don't know, whatever, XYZ, but if you had ice cream name vanilla again, if unique equals true is set, then it will cause an error to be thrown, and it will literally throw an error at you out of the screen. So yeah, that's it. Basically, this is advanced schemas and tutorials. Not very exciting, I don't think, but we'll find it more exciting when we actually do a project on this. So stay tuned and see you guys later. Bye bye.